Alright, update on Kyber. So we're currently tanking as of the time of recording this, and we're coming right down to where my stop loss is. So let's talk about what's going on as of the time of recording with Kyber. So if we start off, I just want to show you, on the weekly time frame, our oscillators are completely overbought, and I talked about this in the last couple of videos. I said specifically, the trend is your friend until the end, and while we're in a huge uptrend for KNC, we might as well try and ride the wave, but we do need to be aware that, your oscillators, the money flow indicator is at 95, the relative strength index just topped out at 80, so we are incredibly overbought right now, and we are seeing a decent amount of selling volume coming in to push us down. On the daily time frame, you can see money has not completely flown out of this yet, but the strength of the market is getting weaker and weaker as we talk. So the last time we had a dump like this, we did soon bounce. So as you can see, the relative strength index, it bottomed at 47 before, but this was just a slight higher low from this previous low that we put down here, because we've been in a supported uptrend since all the way back down here in early December. However, we are coming right back down to this higher low. Yeah, we could be about to push down and make a lower high, which would be indicative of the oscillators that the price is going to start moving to the downside. Now, if we look at our momentum indicators, the downtrend that we're seeing right now is still being supported by these daily EMA ribbons. Now, once again, I always talk about this, the trend is your friend until the end. We've corrected multiple times into the bottom of these EMA ribbons and continued with the uptrend. However, this was during a parabolic run up to the previous all-time high. Now, what I don't like about this, first of all, what I do like is that we've got an all-time high, we've got a super long accumulation range, you've got a uptrend supported by the daily EMA ribbons, and then you can see we come up, we don't quite make it to your 1.618 Fibonacci extension target, and now you're coming back down to retest the all-time high. So that is slightly worrying in my opinion. You really would have wanted to see continuation up to $6.39. However, we did hit my first price target of $5. We were talking about this price target since we were all the way down here retesting the EMA flips at $3. So we've been in KNC for a couple of weeks now. We are coming down to my stop loss though, however. So I talked about this in my past couple of videos. My stop loss is conveniently placed exactly at the previous all-time high. I placed this at the all-time high as we were running up to the 1.618 fib, because in my opinion we consolidated under the all-time high for a very long period of time. Then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days where we consecutively back tested the all-time high, and that is not including the 1, 2 days that we back tested it over here, and it's not including the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, or no, we've already talked about these, the 3 days here where we back tested this as resistance. So there's a lot of support built on this all-time high. It is possible that we could be coming down to the all-time high, liquidating me out of my trade, and then just completely reversing to the upside. However, at this moment in time, I am up currently about 52% on Kyber network. At the peak of this trade, we were up 93%, and I want to make sure that whenever I do talk about these trades on my channel, that I'm walking away with profit, and people who followed me on these trades are also able to make profit. So I want to make sure I'm walking away with profit. 46% is the minimum I'm happy walking away from this trade. So if we come down to $4.36, stop me out of my trade and have a reversal to the upside, so be it. It is what it is. If alternatively we come down into the long-term moving average, stop me out of my trade, and then have a strong bounce back above the all-time high, retest it, and then push up, I could definitely think about re-entering my Kyber network trade. However, at this moment in time, on the lower time frames, we are starting to flip bearish. If we look at the 4-hourly EMA ribbons, you can currently see that they're converging on themselves. If you see the thicker green line at the top, where it's now come into the middle, is the short-term moving average. And if you don't know how estimated moving averages work, these are the EMA ribbons, all they are is a bunch of moving averages. And once the short-term moving average, which when we're in an uptrend is on the upper side of things, when this crosses the long-term moving average, which is now on the bottom, the long-term moving average goes on the top, the short-term moving average goes on the bottom, and what you see is a bearish flip of the EMA ribbons, and then that is indicative that we could see more continuation to the downside. We are, as of the time of recording this, on the 4-hourly time frame, looking like we want to take out the lows at 450 and potentially move lower. So, you know, like I said, as of the time of recording this, the trend is your friend. We are in a bullish uptrend. We are losing some bullish momentum. But on the flip side, you know, the higher time frames you come onto, and when we look at our oscillators, you can see we have recently just topped out. The higher time frame you go to, the more disgustingly overbought we are at this moment in time. So don't think just because KNC is super hyped right now that we can't crash all the way back down to lower levels like your 618 fib. I've seen it happen 1,000,001 times when we don't make it all the way to the 1.618 fib. It always happens. You know, you have this beautiful accumulation range, you don't make it to your upper fib, and then you absolutely fail to retest the previous all-time high. Since I've made my channel, I've been looking at a lot of different cryptocurrencies, and the amount of times I've seen cryptos go up to the 1.618 or not quite make it to the 1.6 and then landslide below their all-time high, it is very, very common. You normally want to see, after you enter price discovery, a push up to your first fib target, the 1.618, then you want to see a backtest of the all-time high, then you want to go into price discovery. It is not good when you spend weeks and weeks and weeks testing and testing and testing the all-time high, and then you come back down to it. So like I said, the all-time high is my stop loss. The trend is your friend until the end. We're still in a bullish trend. However, I want to make sure that I'm walking away with profit on this trade. The way we're coming down right now makes me feel like we're probably going to have me stopped out of my trade by the time you're watching this. So if you're watching and the price is below, I think I set it at exactly $4.35. So if you see a move below $4.35, that means I was stopped out in a profit. If we hopefully reverse at this point, then, you know, so be it. But this ascending channel to the upside, bear in mind this was a very strong line of attack. I never expected this to hold forever, but we are coming down and we are pushing down to these lower price targets. So it is what it is. We are very overextended for our oscillators. We're starting to lose our bullish momentum, and we're seeing an increase in bearish volume coming in right now. So a few things to worry about for KNC. I'm already in my trade. Once we come down, if we come down and hit my stop loss, I would be sitting on the sidelines looking to re-enter the market from a position of strength. But right now I don't see any signs of a bottom. I don't see any bottoming indicators. I will update you once we see that. There's nothing like that at the moment. So I'd say worst comes to worst, if you want the bullish uptrend to stay, expect a move down to $3.90. If we do crash below $3.90 and start moving down into your like low $3 region, then I would say your macro trend has flipped bearish. So that's all I've got for KNC. Not looking the greatest right now, down 7% at the time of recording, coming right down to my stop loss. That's all I've got for you today. As always, none of this is financial advice. It is just my opinion on the market, and as always, cowboy out. Peace.